Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Speak English with Sophie. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Chris. Today, we're diving into a super practical topic: how to level up your English through daily conversation.
That's right. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, incorporating English into your daily conversations can make a huge difference. We've got some great tips and personal stories to share, so stick around.
Yeah, it's all about making English a natural part of your life. So, Sophie, why don't you kick us off with one of your stories?
Sure. Back when I was learning Spanish, I decided to speak only Spanish with my roommate. It was hilarious because we both made so many mistakes, but it was also the best learning experience. We'd laugh at ourselves and correct each other.
That's awesome. I remember when I was trying to improve my French, I started ordering food in French at local cafes. At first, I was so nervous, but the staff were super friendly and helped me out. It made me realize how important it is to just dive in and use the language.
Exactly. Making mistakes is part of the process. And today, we're going to highlight two vocabulary words that we'll be using in our conversation: integrate and fluency.
Yes, integrate means to combine one thing with another so that they become a whole. For example, she decided to integrate English into her daily routine.
And fluency means the ability to speak or write a language easily and accurately. For example, his fluency in English improved after a year of practice. All right, let's get back to discussing how to level up your English.
Right, so one of the most effective ways is to integrate English into your daily activities. Like, instead of thinking in your native language, try thinking in English. Describe what you're doing, like I'm making breakfast or I'm heading to the store.
Absolutely. Another tip is to find a language partner, someone you can practice with regularly. It could be a friend, a family member, or even someone you meet online. Having someone to talk to makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and speaking of online, joining English-speaking communities can be incredibly beneficial. There are tons of forums and social media groups where you can interact with native speakers and other learners.
Definitely. And don't forget to immerse yourself in English media. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books, anything that keeps you engaged with the language, and try to mimic the accents and intonations.
Exactly, and let's not forget the power of repetition. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Make it a habit to review new vocabulary and phrases. Use them in sentences and conversations.
Yeah, and speaking of vocabulary, let's introduce our 5 keywords from today's conversation: integrate, fluency, immersion, mimic, and repetition. We'll explain each one and give an example sentence.
Alright, first up, integrate. As we mentioned, it means to combine one thing with another so they become a whole. Example, she decided to integrate English into her daily routine.
Next, fluency. It's the ability to speak or write a language easily and accurately. Example, his fluency in English improved after a year of practice.
The third word is immersion. This means being deeply involved in something. Example, immersion in English media helped her learn faster.
Fourth is mimic, which means to imitate someone's actions or words. Example, he would mimic the accent of native speakers to improve his pronunciation.
And finally, repetition, which means doing something over and over again. Example, repetition is key to mastering new vocabulary. Now, let's practice pronouncing these keywords and their example sentences together. Ready?
All right, repeat after us. Integrate. She decided to integrate English into her daily routine. Fluency. His fluency in English improved after a year of practice. Immersion. Immersion in English media helped her learn faster. Mimic. He would mimic the accent of native speakers to improve his pronunciation. Repetition. Repetition is key to mastering new vocabulary. Great job, everyone! Keep practicing these words and sentences to enhance your English skills.
And remember, the key to improving your English is consistency. Make it a daily habit, integrate it into your routine, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, and find opportunities to use English in real-life situations, whether it's talking to friends, participating in online discussions, or even just thinking in English, every bit helps.
Alright, Sophie, let's dive into some more tips. What else can our listeners do to level up their English through daily conversation?
One thing that really helped me was keeping a journal in English. Every night, I'd write a few sentences about my day. It not only improved my writing skills, but also helped me think in English.
That's a great idea. Another tip is to use language apps. There are so many apps out there that can help you practice speaking, listening, and even grammar. They're a fun way to learn and can be used anytime, anywhere.
Definitely. And speaking of fun, playing games in English can also be very effective, whether it's word games, trivia, or even video games with English dialogue. It's a great way to learn while having fun.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of music. Listening to English songs, reading the lyrics, and even singing along can improve your language skills. Plus, it's enjoyable.
Absolutely. Music has a way of sticking in your mind. I remember learning so many new words just by listening to my favorite songs.
Another tip is to set specific goals, like, this week, I'm going to learn 5 new phrases or I'm going to have a conversation with a native speaker. Setting goals gives you something to work towards and keeps you motivated.
Yes, and make sure to celebrate your progress. Every small step counts, whether it's mastering a new word or having a successful conversation. Acknowledge your achievements.
That's so important. Learning a language is a journey, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. Consistency, practice, and a positive attitude go a long way.
And remember, you're not alone in this journey. There are so many resources available, and communities of learners just like you. Reach out, connect, and support each other.
Alright, so to recap, today we talked about integrating English into your daily routine, finding language partners, immersing yourself in English media, and the power of repetition.
We also introduced 5 keywords: integrate, fluency, immersion, mimic, and repetition. Keep practicing these words and use them in your daily conversations.
And most importantly, have fun with it. Learning a language doesn't have to be stressful. Enjoy the process and celebrate your progress.
Thanks for tuning in to Speak English with Sophie. We hope you found these tips helpful and are ready to level up your English through daily conversation.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and share this episode with your friends.
And remember to download our free PDF guide for more tips and practice exercises. The link is in the description below.
Until next time, keep practicing and stay positive.
Goodbye. See you in next episode. This is